show. What are the emotions in that locker room when the season ends like it did today?
I think it was all good emotions. I'm really proud of this group. It's been an interesting year with a lot of new players and some things that have happened in the program that were unfortunate. Some other things that happened that were inevitable. But told the Cedars I love them. Would do anything for them. I hope they're the springboard and building blocks of a program that's going to only get better and hopefully do some good things down the road. And we got some young guys that are going to be good pieces that know what we expect that we can build around. And I thought the fight today was good against a really good team. My hat's off to them. They're a class act. Coach Taki's one of the good guys in the business. You know, he's been here for a while and built it the way he wants it to look. And you know, for sure early on we gave them a run for their money, and I was proud of how the players responded this week.
How was this a bit of a microcosm of the season? You fought hard, the team fought hard, but couldn't overcome some mistakes.
Yeah, it is. They made plays when they needed to. Their quarterback made some great throws on 3rd and 4th down. Their receivers got open on crossing routes. They made a punt return. They got a stop or two when they needed it. We need to start doing those things, and we had our chances to. You know, we could have made an interception and didn't. We could have caught a long ball in the end zone and didn't. We need to start making those plays, and that's just going to be a product of continuing to bring the right guys into the program, developing the guys in the program, and you know, our guys fought one of the best teams in the league, and I think you know, showed quite a bit today against a good team. So there was a lot of good things that came out, but certainly when we have our chances, we have to capitalize on them.
Slow starts on the road have kind of been a problem in the previous 4 games. You guys come out and score 14 in the first quarter today. What kind of progress do you feel like you demonstrated as a group and as an offensive unit to be able to get out to such a good start today?
Yeah, it's probably something I shouldn't say, but I'm honest. Losing some guys. We had a smaller group here today, and a way higher percentage of the guys that made this trip are here for the right reasons, are battling for each other, and I think there was fewer distractions, and I think that played a part in it. You can sugarcoat it if you want to. We played terrible in Waco. We didn't show up well enough in Lubbock. We battled in Cincinnati, but we just didn't. We made too many mistakes. This is the best we played on the road, particularly in the first half. We're just not a complete enough team yet to make the plays we need to make against a really good team. Hopefully we'll get there.
What kind of hope does it give you to see guys like AG and Waden and Dylan, especially today and over the last handful of weeks, make the plays and make him look a bit more dynamic offensively?
Yeah, you know, we're a Florida team. We're supposed to have speed that other people can't match, and we have some of those. We don't have enough yet. You look at the guys you just mentioned, AG and Dylan and Waden, among others. If you go back to the start of the season, none of those guys have played very much football, and that's where we can really improve, is just having more guys that have a lot of snaps, that have experience, and we were so young and inexperienced this year. It's been 2 steps forward and 1 step back with a lot of them all year, but it's good to see some of them start to develop and settle into their roles and make some plays.
What went into the decision to throw there? It looked like Taven had some early momentum.
Yeah, you know, we wanted to come in and shoot our shot, and you know, we had several little gadget and trick play things, and knew it'd probably be tough sledding, running the ball consistently against them with all the injuries we have up front and as good a unit as they have. We thought if we could protect, that we had a chance to win in space, and that's what happened early. You know, we called that trick play. I've run it before, and it's worked. I don't think he saw the linebacker. You know, that's supposed to be a little deeper pass, or if it's not there, he's just supposed to take off and get what he can. Speedy's one of our most reliable and toughest and best players, and he just didn't make a good play there.
How do you evaluate Taven's performance today?
You know, I got a lot of respect for Taven battling through what he's battled through this year. It's kind of similar to our team, and I've said this before. Sometimes we look really good, and sometimes we look really bad. And none of that's all on one player. That's collective as a group, and that's on the coaches, the players, everybody. We need to have more consistency, and a few more plays here and there change a lot of things. Turnovers hurt, and our turnover margin, we talked about a lot in the offseason. It hasn't been good enough, and you're not going to beat a good team like BYU giving them more turnovers than you do.
How do you create consistency and culture that you're trying to build in the new NIL transfer portal world? You've done it before. How do you do it this year?
It's tougher than ever. Talked to Coach Taki about it in his first year coming into the Big 12. He told me they were 5-7, and he made a lot of changes on the team and probably should have made more. And I feel the same way. It's hard to say that we should have made more when we have 70 new players on the team, but you got to get everybody thinking the same way. And really, when you have we call them culture keepers, when you have guys that understand what you want, are living up to the standards, and then hold everybody else accountable to the standards. Those guys in the locker room help get new guys to understand what's expected. We didn't have any of that this year because everybody was new. We're going to be closer to that next year.
Defensively, I mean, you held them scoreless in that first quarter, and then they kind of went for the rest of the game. What did you see was the difference after the opening quarter for you guys?
If I'm being honest, I think they made it in the championship game last year, and we didn't have a very good record, and I think we kind of surprised them with our energy, and they settled into the game and probably overall have a better team than we have right now. And that's where I want our team to be a little tougher, and when we do get up 14-0, we get the next stop and we find a way to move the ball again. We're just not quite there yet, and they woke up and did some really good things in the second quarter.
You mentioned Kalani's one of the good guys in this industry. Why do you say that?
He's just a guy. It's real. I like genuine people, and he's a genuine guy. I think he stands for the right things, and I'm happy for him getting to the championship game.
Looked like you had a stop with them at the one and the fumble. What was the conversation with the refs there? What did you think was happening?
Yeah, I have to be careful what I say. We certainly weren't going to get any favors today, and I understand that. What I don't understand is no whistle and a fumble, and then kind of arbitrarily saying his momentum was stopped. But they pushed Piles 10 times, and that's an exaggeration, 6 times, and run in after a play on the goal line and wait to see if he landed in the end zone or not. But if he fumbles, then the momentum was stopped. So I have to understand that rule a little bit better. And to me, it should be reviewable as long as there's not a whistle that's blown dead. But maybe I just don't understand. To be honest, they've started already. The game's in a bad place, and agents have been shopping kids that are playing for teams with other teams for the last 6 weeks. So, I hope we've created a good enough environment in our building that kids like being in, that we have a lot of kids that want to stay. Certainly, numbers can change that. If there's something that a team just can't match, then kids are doing other things, and that's too much of a primary driver of what kids are doing and where they're going right now. But we certainly have some players on our team that we're excited to build around, and I think they feel the same way.
You played Texas Tech and BYU now. Debate's going to rage on through the next 2 weeks. Do you feel like the Big 12's a two-bid league this year? Do you think both those teams are playoff good?
I hope it is. I think it's good football. Playing both those teams, they're both really good teams, and I think on any given day could play with about everybody in the country. So I'm certainly pulling for the league, and I know it'll be a good. I haven't played both of them. I know it'll be a good game Saturday.
Coach, this one just ended. You got early signing day coming up. How eager are you to get going on another season?
Yeah, I made a gamer metaphor earlier this week that the younger people in the room might understand, but I'm not a gamer at all, but back when I was an assistant coach, played a little Call of Duty because all my players were playing it, and I was single, didn't have anything to do. And when you get on the game late and all you have is the starter gun and everybody else has suppressors and advanced weaponry, you don't even want to play because you don't feel like you're armed enough, and you just get destroyed. To some degree, I'm excited to level up and go back at it next year with a lot of the guys that are capable of being really good players in this league and try to add to it.
I think this was your first time at Lavelle Edwards Stadium. How would you describe the environment? And then also, you mentioned Bear Bachmeyer had a pretty good game. He's a true freshman. What type of potential do you see in him?
Yeah, not my first time. I actually came to football camp here when I was in high school when Lavelle was coaching.
What
and
year
then
was that?
1990, summer of '92. And then I coached here as a linebacker coach at Northern Iowa a long time ago. It's the prettiest backdrop in football, obviously. Love the mountains. The people here are really nice to us and appreciate that. Bear has a chance to be a special player. There's not very many guys that come in as 18-year-olds and play with the maturity that he does. So wish him all the best.
Thanks, everyone.